was like a dream. It's a fantasy. You know, it's something that's unreal. It's something. It's an experience. It's a story that you just get into when you enter the cinema and experience the whole experience of movies in general. And then growing up, that was my exposure. But when I became an actor, I think everything changed because it became work. But for me, growing up, cinema was always like larger than life, something bigger than your imagination. It's, you know, that's how it was for me back then. My motivation was to just really earn and work, you know. But I always looked at cinema as something maybe, you know, I can do if I could be given a chance. When I was young, I was really shy and I was really insecure, so it was hard for me to get into the business. But it was just something that I wanted to do, just to, you know, get something done. And when I became an actor, it became serious. You know, that's when I realized it's gotta be passion that should be driving you. It can't be just about work. You know, you gotta give it your best. You gotta give it your 100%. And there are things that you experience, you know, and you never think you'll be able to get to that place. It's a different thing.
Yeah, it's
Memorable. My first ever experience of a shoot was on my high school graduation. I remember my dad being a casting agent back then for films. His actor didn't show up on the set, so he called me on the day of my graduation. I was in the party, and then he had to call me to pitch in for the guy. So that was my first experience. I wasn't even credited for the role because the director didn't even know me. So it was just one scene, cameo, and that was it. It was a pretty good experience because, you know, for how much you're paid, you know, for a few hours, that was fun. But yeah, that was the first experience for me. But being an actor afterwards, when I really delved into it, it's a feeling of how am I going to be able to do this? You know, am I good enough, or am I going to be able to pull this off, or how am I going to be? What am I going to do? So everything, you know, is just going on in your head, and it's being nervous and all, being shy and all. It's pretty hard, you know. It takes a matter of getting used to, but you know, after a while, you know, not right away, you realize it's your passion, it's your dream, it's like, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. It wasn't like that. It was really hard. It was really hard the first few times. If you want to say something, you just don't got a voice because you don't even know what you can offer to the table, what you can bring to the table, or what you can do. You don't even know yourself. So you just go with the process and just, you know, you kind of just rely on instincts, and you don't even know how to prepare, man. That's the hardest part, because you're just trying to, you know what you can do, you know, and as an actor, and it's hard, especially back then when I was starting out. We didn't even call them rom-com. It's more like romantic drama films, right, Direct?
Yes.
So it just became rom-coms in the 2000s.
Yeah.
So of course, there's always a transition, and just like what Reid was saying, you gotta have to adapt, you know, as you move along, as you age. You always have to have a certain sense of how you look, what you can offer, and what you can do. I mean, you know, it's all a matter of looking at the perspective of what the story is, and knowing, you know, how you can probably play along with your character, you know. We were in Lake Como in Italy. I was doing this scene with my co-actor, my leading lady, Claudine Barreto. It was windy, but we were doing a very emotional scene. We had to cry, but it was like really chilly, and we were on this uh, in the middle of the ocean in Lake Como, not the ocean, but on the lake. It was pretty bad. It was hard to act. It was hard to just give emotion to what you're saying because it was just really cold. I mean, those things don't a lot of people don't see, in the cinema. But yeah, that was pretty memorable for me.
How about
It's not just about your partner, but it can be about you. Sometimes if she cannot get what she wants from you, then it's hard. It's hard to feel that. Especially, you have to work together.
yeah.
So there's got to be chemistry. There's got to be unspoken agreement about where you guys want to go, where you guys want to take a scene. But if you're not able to meet there, or if you're not able to be on the same page, you gotta adjust. You gotta do something about it, and that's when your instincts come in. And I guess it's all a matter of presence of mind and just knowing what you're supposed to do, and learn. I mean, you all gotta learn somehow. We all gotta learn. I was just gonna say, and the best part about this business is that you're constantly transitioning. You're evolving as you grow, as you get older. I guess you are not just focusing on one genre or not just focusing on one particular role.
Mm.
You constantly grow with the characters that you portray. You gotta look the part. I think that's the most important thing, because if it's not playable anymore, then I guess no. I mean, as an actor, you gotta be broad. You gotta have a wide range of expertise at least. But that's where, or that's when artistry comes in. And for me, I just transition every time I add a year. I gotta make sure that I can play the part. I want to be able to transition well, so I adjust, accordingly.
But
I guess it's a universal thing. We do the same ways, I guess, right?
Yeah,
I think
man.
it's pretty standard, right? Everything is adjustable, depending on what the director wants or depending on the frame. But you don't. It's hard to give it the same intensity every time. You do about a couple of takes, three minimum, or sometimes take one is good, but you got to take it from a different angle again. So you got to adjust. So you
Mm-hmm.
cannot give it all every time, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you think you've done enough, like you've given it all, and you can't juice out anymore. There's
Yeah.
nothing going there. There's nothing that you can do anymore. I guess that's when you reach it. But as for me, I rely on my director. I always collaborate with my director as to where we want to take the scene, and as long as he says okay or she says okay, then I'm good. That's my gauge.
Yeah, I think
how it came about.
No, I already had. Was thinking about that. Every film is different. That's the magic of cinema. The best part about it is that you'll never know what's gonna come out on the final edit or the final cut, and that's the best part about it. It's team experience. It's you're part of a whole team. So whatever you do, don't expect for something that you're wanting to see, because everything else is gonna be enhanced. So it's a team effort. And yeah, it's always something new. It's always a surprise. It's always the dream that I would always remember when I was a kid. That kind of experience. It's larger than life. I would want a complex character. I wouldn't want to be just uh, processing with one sense. I want to be able to do something else. Process with your mind, work with the physical, and you want to be able to discover something else. I mean, I guess it all comes together. You know. Depending on the intensity of the character, you know, I guess it's a natural thing. It's not easy to just shake it off. Just on my way home, because I just couldn't shrug it off and just brush it off. It's hard. It's really hard. It depends on the kind of character you are portraying and what it gets from you. I guess once you get deeply into the character and then you have to switch roles, because the hardest part there is, losing that identity to become another person again. And it takes a lot of discipline and practice. You just got to know yourself better because that's all fiction. And once you get out of the character, you move on. That's it. So yeah. I guess for me, it's echoing what Nick said. As much as your life is your mentor, I learned from everyone, from my directors, my acting coaches, and everyone around you. I think the key there is humility. If you're humble enough to absorb and just get from people, I mean, that's enough, to say that it's mentoring, because you're open to learn and for new things. So I constantly learn. I mean, the best part about acting is that it's a constant learning. You never stop. The best part about what I'm doing right now is I'm actually trying to unlearn things that I've acquired through the years, and taking in something new so that I can be a different person, so I can do something else. I can be somebody else in terms of how I portray my character. So life, as much as life is your mentor, your experiences as well, and just being open even to your co-actor, and just sharing and collaborating. I guess the best part about being in this business is knowing your place. You're part of the team, you're part of a bigger whole, and it's not about you. So if you're humble enough to be mentored by these people, then I can say that you can get to greater heights as an actor. With the current situation that we are in, there's going to be a new normal, as we all know. So there's going to be a lot of changes, obviously, with how we are going to be working with each other, how we are going to be with each other. And gosh, cinema, for that matter, I don't want to say it's reduced to live streaming, but it's become more intimate and smaller. But you still want to have that experience, but you cannot go to the cinema anymore. So people are now able to focus more on the characters. So it's actually, as an actor, it's important for us to get a role wherein there's a journey, and you go with that same you go through that journey with the actor. So I was gonna say, because this last few weeks I've been watching a lot of foreign language films, and it's been teaching me a lot about different cultures, how we are as a nation, and how we are as people. So I've been learning a lot about different cultures. So I was looking forward to this, because you don't get to have this kind of long conversation with just something you just met online, somebody you just met online. So I guess it's important for us to share about our views, because from here forward, I mean, how do we adjust? How do we adapt? And what are we going to present? I think it's all kind of vague. We're all just about to discover, but you got to be there. I mean, I'm not looking forward to any role per se, but I'm looking forward to something that we've not done before, all of us. So I'm pretty excited about that. Will Smith is as a producer, as well as Tom Cruise, those people that are able to, be bigger than their names, kind of. Something relevant, something timely, something that is worth your 2 hours or 90 minutes of your time. Something, I don't want to say socially relevant, but we have so many concepts lying around, especially about the current situation,